This is my final Priestess check-in. I can't believe it's already been a year. I've learned so much, expanded so much, and got many of the things that I was looking for and more. Focusing on priestessing, focusing on the fact that I am a priestess, has helped me connect to these deepest parts of myself that I do bring forward a lot of the time, but I didn't have words to express or to recognize what it is that I was wanting and what it is I was being called to do, what it is I was craving. In this last check-in, I want to celebrate. So I'm gonna brag. I'm gonna brag more than I usually do, but it's because I want to really feel into this aspect of myself and celebrate it and let it shine and see it for what it is. In this past year of working specifically in a priestess program with other priestesses, I realized that I've been looking for other people like me, other people who I can learn from, who are looking for something deeper, who really feel called to look at some of the things that priestesses look at. Like, I've really unpacked what it is for me to be a priestess, and I see the ways that I've been doing it my whole life now, and I see, especially in these times, how important this role actually is and why we're being called on, why we're feeling invited to show up as we really are. Because the role of the priestess in these times isn't always understood or accepted, but it ties into what I discovered when I had my spiritual awakening, that we are being called as a human race to reconnect with our spirituality on our own terms and to begin to bring the sacred back into our everyday lives, to begin to connect to our spiritual selves and to connect to a spiritual way of living when we have really been disconnected from that. And so the priestess helps us connect back to that, helps create contexts or spaces, holding space for us to reconnect to the spiritual, to the sacred. And so that can look like ritual, that can look like properly grieving or holding space for soul work or heart-to-heart conversations. It can look like celebrating some kind of transition moment in our lives, like a wedding, or, as I mentioned, grief, maybe death, or maybe death of a cycle in our lives, or a new phase in our lives, or a coming of age. It's all of these things that we've begun to detach from, especially those of us who, like me, grew up like in an atheist or agnostic kind of family where, this just wasn't something that was important, because a lot of these things were kind of taken over by religion. And I'm grateful for the fact that I didn't grow up in a religious household, because it allowed me to stay open. And even though I was very disconnected from spirit has kind of called me back, and my own soul and my own spirit has been asking me to reconnect with it. And I think a lot of other people are missing out on something too. Like, we're disconnected. And I think as a priestess, you're there reconnecting yourself first and foremost, and then it just ripples out. And I think for me, that looks like continuing to do my soul work in the way that I feel called to do through my art and sharing it. And if that ripples out in any other way to others, then great. Then that is like part of what I'm here to do, and it will hopefully help connect other people to what it is that they're here to do, through connecting through themselves, through connecting to their soul, their higher selves, their spirituality. I know that's not going to look like anything that we've seen in like really dogmatic religions. And that's what this is all about. It's about bringing forward something completely new, or maybe not even new. Maybe it's something that's really ancient and remembering and bringing it forward in these times. And so I really feel like I was looking for, in a sense, like sisterhood or just connection with other people. And in a way, in this program, and I just want to say it, I don't feel like I got what I was looking for, but it helps me realize what I was looking for. I wanted more one-on-one conversations. I would have appreciated that, but I didn't know that that's what I wanted at the time. And so I've started creating that for myself. Heart-to-heart conversations with other priestesses, or priestesses who don't actually call themselves priestesses at this point, because it's an intense word. It is. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it going forward, if I'm going to use it. It holds a lot. Connecting to other people who resonate with that word or not, but who are doing the kind of work that I consider to be priestessing, was a big factor for me this year, and will continue to be, making an effort to connect with others and have really like enriching and like deep conversations, either that heal or that inspire and uplift. So that's another thing that I'm taking away from all of this. I was really glad to discover some other priestesses, to see the way that they are working their magic and the way that they're showing up. And now I have these people in my social media or in my network, basically, that I can look at for inspiration, that I can look at or go to if I need some support, and I appreciate that as well. So yeah, those were big pieces for me, but also accepting more of who I am and my role. And this year, thanks to doing this intentional, very focused work, I am seeing the ways that I've been showing up as a priestess, the ways that I hold space, the way that I create opportunities for healing and expansion and connection. And part of that is holding circle, which I think I'll be continuing to do on top of my art. And it's also being there for my family and my partner's family. And I'm seeing what can come out of that, and I'm seeing the way that priestessing is also really about healing ancestral lines for me. Just expressing so much gratitude for all of the things that I've reconnected with this year. I'm going to be continuing to focus on my priestess work, connecting to spirit every single day, living in magic every single day. And my focus is also on embodiment and seeing the magic and the sacred and seeing spirit in everything that is on this earth, and enjoying this time here on earth as much as I can, taking advantage of this life and seeing the beauty in every little thing. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next expression of my heart, or I'll see you around online somewhere. Thanks.